as we start to look and recognize problems that can be potentially difference of two squares, it's good for us to know what are some of those squares. It's good to recognize 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 2 is 4, 3 times 3 is 9, 8 times 8 is 64, 9 times 9 is 81, 11 times 11 is 121. It's be good to recognize what are some of those perfect squares. I go all the way up to maybe 13 times 13, which is 169. So if I see any of those numbers that are perfect squares, because I got used to looking for those, a flag is immediately raised, and I'm going to look for those numbers to be potentially a way to help me solve these problems. Let's look at 25x squared minus 4y squared. We recognize it as a difference of two squares. Excuse me. I know that 5x times 5x produces a 25x squared. Shouldn't bother me that I have a squared term or a term in the back as a variable in it, because what times what makes a 4y squared? 2y and 2y. And then I add signs. One has to be positive, one has to be negative. Doesn't matter which, because I can flip them around. And so they're solving that one or factoring that one. 9 minus 16x to the 10th. Two issues here maybe. Are you bothered by the fact that the second term has a variable and not the first? I'm not. Are you bothered that x to the 10th? Yeah, maybe a little bit. And this might be a good reminder for us to understand how exponents work in this process. So let me assure you that this is a difference of two squares. Maybe you could do the 9 first. What times what makes a 9? A 3. Now 16x to the 10th. Well, I know 16 comes from 4s. X to the 10th. What times what makes x to the 10th? And when you're doing with exponents, you add the exponents when you multiply. So x to the 5th times x to the 5th, multiplying bases, or like bases, you add the exponents, so that becomes x to the 10th. So the square root of x to the 10th is x to the 5th. And then I add alternating signs. So it's, again, useful to remember some of those previous instructions that we've learned or that we're still learning as they help us solve additional problems.